September 30th. I had a dream, but it was, I feel like it was maybe a junk dream. I mean, I had 8 hours of sleep. I actually went to bed early. Earlier, like at 10, which is early for me. And didn't eat late as I've been eating, so I'm making progress, right? Making progress. Because so two nights ago, so I bought more of the the San Francisco like a sandwich thing. It's really good. And you know, at the local grocery store, it's an outlet, so it's like, you know, if you see it, like, you'll be lucky if you see it again. So I grabbed another one. Let me just grab it. They're out, completely out. This was only a couple days ago. And so it was like 11 o'clock. It was daylight. You know how they have that song, like, they'll never know. They'll never know. Like on TikTok, one of those things, right? Or whatever. The reels. And you're like, they'll never know. They'll know. They'll never know. That's was playing in my head when I was opening it up at 11 o'clock at night, and I was watching a movie. I was watching Little Women, the newer version of Little Women, because I really love the older version. But I was just like, they'll never know. They'll know. I'm just eating it late at night. Because, you know, I'm not supposed to eat late at night. That was one of the, not the agreements, but one of the things that they're like trying to encourage me to not to do is like, don't eat after 6, go to bed early. By early we mean like, I think it was like 10 or 11. Anyways, I actually did that last night. So I went to bed early, didn't eat as late as I had been. So I feel more or less rested, but the dream was, it was interesting, and I'm not gonna sit with it because I'm just not. What's been kind of itching at me is the other dream that I had, the one about this recent fire sign, this recent artist that I met here, and that dream of him. I saw my cousin yesterday and I mentioned it to them. I said, hey, I had this dream about him, and it left me feeling like, oh, I hadn't had a dream about you since you were last here in my presence. And it meant just sitting with the realization that in my dream I felt bothered, that I was waiting. I felt like that was what keeps standing out for me. It's just like, it'd be different if I wasn't bothered, but I was bothered. I was bothered that I was waiting, which I'm not. Let me make that clear. I'm not waiting for him to come back. Like, I have no intentions to reach out if he does come back. Like, and the reason why, so part of the program, the training that I'm doing for the high schools, there's 2 versions of it, one for college and one for high schools. The high school one I'm having a little harder. I'm having more trouble because it's more content. The content is new compared to the college one, because that was the whole class that I took last semester. But there's a part in the newer one where we're looking at curse words and just derogatory words towards people who go outside of the traditional or stereotypical gender roles. You know, what a man would be called and what a woman would be called if they step out of those, you know, stereotypes. And I've been really struggling with that activity. One, because I don't know a lot of curse words. I don't know a lot of curse words. Like, everyone was talking about like the cliques that they were in, and I was just like, I was a loner. Like, I didn't have friends. I mean, I knew people, but I didn't have a clique in high school at all. And I was more of a loner, but like a smart loner. Like, I knew where to hang out. Anyways, battery's running out. So my client 2 days ago mentioned how she was upset that someone she was connecting with through DM left her on red. And I was like, what does that mean? And so I asked her, I was like, what do you mean left you on red? What does that mean? I'm thinking the color red. She's like, no, on red, on red. Like they just read it and they didn't respond back. I was like, oh, it made me think of this fire sign that was in my dream. And I'm like, he left me on red. And one of the last messages was, he called me sweets or something like that. And I responded, I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, we're, you know, because this was already after the blow up or the tension where I changed my mind. I was like, I think I want to be friends, because I realized he wasn't watching the videos, and I was like, I just want to be friends because I'm jumping in too fast. Like I'm feeling it. And I had told him, like, I'm learning how to do relationships. And so one of the questions that I asked, like, what does that mean? Like, do you use that very loosely, that you just say it to any person, any girl that you meet? Because I don't do that. Like, I don't call, like, you know, like I don't do that. I just don't, in terms of endearment, right? Like, so to get it back to me, like, for me, it throws me off a little bit. And then I never heard from him. And I think it was during the time that he was traveling, but I never heard back. So I was just like, okay, like, there you go, right? Like, I'm not gonna pursue it. I'm not. Did it hurt? Yeah, but, you know, like, se entretuvo, like, he got busy, right? So clearly, I wasn't satisfied, right? Not that he has to be, that I have to be, but enough to where it's just like, hey, oh yeah, forgot to respond to her. No. I'm like, okay. And I left it be. I let it be, you know, like I knew he was going to be busy. He said he was going to be busy. So I mean, did it kind of bother me? I'm like, well, you know, I forget to address every single, you know, comment. But it's just the fact that in the dream I was waiting for him. I'm like, but in real life, I'm like, I'm not waiting for him. Like, I'm moving on with my life, right? If anything, I kind of not, I don't want to date. Like, I'm not looking. So I was thinking about that and just the lingo, and I'm just like, man, I feel like I've been living under a rock. Because I don't know a lot of these terms. I'm gonna be learning a lot from these high school people, because I'm just like, and I even feel uncomfortable saying these words out loud because I'm not used to it. Like, the last 20 something years, I was with family. Like, I didn't have really friends that I would go and hang out with and curse with. Like, that was just never my style to do it a lot. Like, yeah, every once in a while some salía, you know, shit, or like, you know, you know, but I would mouth it, or mother, you know, because oftentimes we were around kids. So I just got into the habit of holding myself back from actually saying the whole word. So it feels a little awkward for me to have to say those words out loud, one, in front of people that are younger than me too. And I don't know a lot of the words either. So I'm like having to, because if they don't say it, we have to say it. So I have to make a list of that. Anyways, I just wanted to address that I realized that that's still kind of bothering me, that dream. And I think it could be that maybe because he left me on red. And the fact that I'm waiting for him, like, why am I waiting for you? And in my dream, I'm bothered. I'm slightly bothered, not a lot. I think I'm more bothered about it now. But in my dream, I'm slightly bothered that I'm like just sitting there waiting for him to finish washing his clothes, in the feeling of mom in his house, like this home. And it reminds me of some of the homes that he's posted about of where he is right now, because he's in another country. So it's not like a home like one of these homes. The feel is his family's home, and but the feeling of mom was in this place, and him just washing his clothes and hanging it out to dry, like old school in the tendedero and stuff. And I'm looking at all these clothes, and I told my cousin, and my cousin interpreted the same way that I did. So I was like, okay, I am. That was what I initially thought was just his cleansing, right? His cleansing of his, you know, whatever he needed cleansing, but that I was sitting and waiting for him. And then I was slightly bothered by that. Very slightly, not like majorly. Enough to where I noticed it. Enough to where clearly it's still bothering me now. So, I don't know, that was just the intention of the dream, to bring that out or to talk about it, but I just thought it was interesting that my client was just like, he left me on red. I'm like, what does that mean?
Hey you, my name is Yubi and I use she, they pronouns, and you've just finished watching a clip from my video diary entries where I'm documenting my healing journey as I learn how to navigate my spiritual awakening. I have learned that this experience and process is unique to each and every one of us in whatever way we are embracing living our truth. This just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of formal mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself as these experiences unfold, and really inviting you along for the ride. Please know that there is a time gap between when these videos post and my real timeline, and also that these clips build upon each other similar to chapters in a book. So if you find yourself lost or confused, feel free to click on the playlist section or the link below, where you can jump around, check out the other chapters, and or catch up. Also, please know that you're more than welcome to check out my website, www.youbecominghealed.com, where I've gathered all of this information, my background, experience, and education to create online self-paced courses to help you on your healing journey wherever you are. You're also more than welcome to check out my other YouTube channel at You Becoming Healed, where I've entertained a podcast, including clips from these courses so that I can make this content accessible to more and more people. Please click like, subscribe, and share this content so again it reaches more people, with the hopes that other people will resonate and connect with the healing journey and the stories shared so that they don't feel alone in their own process. I thank you in advance. I'm grateful to you, and I wish you well.